got to go to New York because your favorite mayor, he appointed this woman.
What woman?
In this video.
You got to see the picture?
That's a woman.
That?
Yes. Oh. He appointed that woman, and I guess she's using the she, her pronouns to head the fire department in New York. But it's just one catch because Elon has something to say about it. But I want to play this clip here.
Lillian Bonsignore is a career first responder. In just 9 days, she'll be running the world's busiest fire department, one of the most important appointments of the incoming administration.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself, who understands every detail, and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Lillian Bonsignore began her career as an EMT in 1991 and was ultimately promoted to chief of the city's EMS division, where she served for 3 years before retiring in 2022. Although she never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter.
I know the job. I know what the firefighters need, and I can translate that to this administration who's willing to listen. I know what EMS needs. I have been EMS for 30 plus years.
Bonsignore is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community, who will serve as the FDNY's first openly gay commissioner. She's a highly respected, detail-oriented manager whose style has been compared to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, who will remain in her post in the new administration.
Doesn't it seem somehow insulting to pick somebody over a department who's never done what that department does for a job?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That is just straight up and down DEI.
So, and this is what Elon had to say. Let me put this here. He says, people will die because of this. Proven experience matters when lives are at stake. And Zohan replied, experience does matter, which is why I opponent the person who spent more than 30 years at EMS. The workforce that addresses at least 70% of all calls coming into the FDNY. Answering a call and actually putting out some damn fires are two different things.
And wait a minute. The call is emergency services. It's under most fire departments, but the thing that fire departments do is to stop conflagrations from occurring. Remember the Los Angeles fire not too long ago and the disaster that it caused? What happened? That's what people are talking about. The emergency services get there after the firemen have pulled somebody out of the fire.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what's essential. It's just an insult, more DEI crap. And I find it interesting, the politically intriguing endorsement Trump gave is just saying, hey, I gave you my blessing. Let's see what you can do. It's going to fail because you're going to get deep off into DEI. And by the way, anybody listening, I'm still suspended on X. All I can do is post. I can't post or reply. And they've been sending me this stuff, things you might be interested in, which are some far left woke idiots in their stupid commentary. And by the way, you might want to point out to X that it's a disservice to Elon Musk, who owns the thing, to knock somebody off who has never had a complaint that was shown to have any substance to it, for reasons of supporting Musk's own policies. Isn't that something? That's essentially what they knocked me off for. So they didn't want to hear any more of my commentary. And I didn't have that many followers, only 130, 150,000 folk. But there was an estimate that 10 times that many regularly listened to what I had to say, but didn't want to sign on as official followers because there was a negative onus to following anybody like me who is conservative.
Well, are you going to start another account?
They said I'm permanently blocked from starting an account. And if I try to, I won't even be able to listen. But interestingly enough, just last week on Wednesday, they posted a thing saying an advisement, I'd been permanently suspended. And all I could do was listen, but not post. And then, interestingly enough, the link that they put in there was the first actual access to an appellate process that I have been able to find. And when I accessed it, they already had my name in there, my email account, phone number, and a space to actually type in something, which I did. And I just said, you might find it interesting that since I'm about to do something politically here in Shelby County where Mr. Elon Musk is starting up his XAI venture that is so egregiously opposed by the Democratic factions in this area that I got suspended for essentially backing up his policies. So I'm sure I will have a conversation with him, and I intend to bring this to his attention.
I think when you got that second appeal notice, I think you could start another account. Try it. See
No,
what happens.
it says in there, there's more to it on the email. I didn't send you the whole thing. It says any effort to open up another account will result in your permanent expulsion from this community.
Oh God, yeah. Well,
So,
hopefully
I'm banned from Facebook. I've never posted anything on Facebook. I just had an account so I could check out what people sent me, and in the process picked up the maximum number of, what do they call it, friends. So they stripped all that. They just said I'm a fake. I'm not who I claim to be. So
Yeah.
it's me. But I can't post on Facebook, can't post on X, and somehow or another they just don't want me. I'm an anathema. I've been blackballed, it seems. Wonder why.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe hopefully it will get reversed.
Well, I am going to have a conversation with Mr. Musk because of some of the politics that some people are trying to recruit me to get involved in. I might have an announcement in a couple of weeks about that, but I'm going to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And
Well,
somebody might write in and say, hey, we miss Judge Joe Brown. We'd like to hear what he's got to say.
Right. All right. So you probably want to get a little bit ticked off with this next topic. So Representative Presley demands immediate action to address Black unemployment crisis in a letter she wrote to Jerome Powell. But I'm going to play this clip when she was on Al Sharpton's show.
Chicken George.
Yeah, Chicken George.
Again, the numbers don't lie. And as we say so often, when white America catches a cold, Black folks catch pneumonia. And you see that enumerated in these devastating statistics, which is devastating in its implication for Black women, for Black families, and for Black futures. And unemployment is at an all-time 4-year high, across the board. And so the Fed has a dual mandate of full employment. This is a crisis. Black women have always been the canary in the coal mine, have been a bellwether for what will happen to everyone else. And so they need to take heed. They need to develop real strategies and a real action plan, because although Black women and Black families and Black futures will bear the brunt of this without intervention, this hurt will come for everyone. Again, the numbers don't lie. And as we say,
so she's talking about, she's demanding that the Federal Reserve Board take immediate action to address the alarming spike in Black unemployment.
The Federal Reserve Board.
Yes.
And what is their particular position in this relative to what they might do about it?
Well, it says they are requesting that the Fed board brief members of the Congressional Black Caucus on the matter In a letter to Fed Chair Jerome Powell, first obtained by Presley of Massachusetts and Clark of New York, who is chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus, described the latest 8.3% joblessness rate among Black Americans as a crisis and placed the blame squarely on President Trump's policies.
Wow.
The alarming high rates of unemployment in the Black community are a glaring red flag with negative implications of the broader economy. It is critical that you take immediate action to fulfill the statutory mandate to promote maximum employment for all people of all races and gender. The Federal Reserve, established by Congress in 1913, is the nation's central banking system that sets monetary policy independently with the intent of avoiding a financial crisis. Citing their authority of congressional oversight, the two U.S. representatives requested a briefing from the federal bank to discuss high unemployment and solutions for the Black community and our nation. Despite President Trump toting a positive outlook on the U.S. economy in his Wednesday night address, this was like a month ago, millions of Americans remain financially strained, most especially Black Americans. Since Trump took office in January, the unemployment rate of Black workers has steadily increased, some of which was a result of Trump's purge of federal workforce and dismantling DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, Black unemployment has dropped, which is interesting. It doesn't make the Democratic Party's narrative, doesn't match their narrative. The other thing is right here in Memphis, there is a thing about getting young Black folk employed. They just don't seem to want to be. And the local Democrats are against theft and death being reduced. And they basically say young Black people are deprived and depressed, so their criminality should be understood, which is a sick thing to say. And maybe what needs to happen is Board of Educations that are controlled by the Democratic Party, mayor's offices that are controlled by the Democratic Party, state legislative assemblages that are controlled by the Democratic Party, city councils, county commissions, boards of aldermen that are controlled by the Democratic Party. Perhaps they need to start emphasizing work ethic, education, practical academics, STEM advancement, and vocational training for those who are out there, rather than trying to say everybody is poor, down and out, can't help themselves, and is entitled to be taken care of. Yeah.
True.
And
Now,
this clown right here, what is he doing? He's supposed to be Reverend Al Sharpton. Does he even have a church?
No, he does. He never did.
Never did. Oh, that's right. They ordained him when he was 6, or was it 8 years old? And what kind of congregation is fool enough to listen to an 8-year-old child tell them about sin and how to act with it?
Well, it says, according to the Center for American Progress, Trump economic policies, including his global tariffs on foreign trade, are disproportionately hurting Black Americans and Black businesses, which have higher rate of job creations for Black workers. Presley and Clark's letter cites U.S. Census data that Black workers make up 20% less than white workers, contributing to the racial wealth gap. And the median Black family has a net worth of $24,000 compared to $250,000 of the median white family. I.e., when I was talking about earlier with the baby boomers passing down.
Well, okay, let's take this. Let's take one thing that Black folk have been trying to get into. You're talking about Diddy and everything. If you check Wikipedia out, if it hasn't been changed, I was supposed to be the highest paid employee in Hollywood. But look at me. You know, I might be high bright, but I've identified as being Black my whole life. So, yeah. Okay, so you can't get to the top. I mean, I don't have that now. The ex got it during the divorce proceedings out in California and right after we broke up. But that's another case. So it is what it is. That means that, and I came out of South Central Los Angeles, and that means that if you pay attention to what you are supposed to be paying attention to, there is nothing that will prevent you from rising to the top anywhere you want to be in this country. Take a Lucy. He is head of the trajectory calculation department at NASA. He's a rocket scientist. He grew up in the streets, went to the U.S. Marine Corps, came out, wound up going through all of the STEM stuff, and now he is a rocket scientist, literally. So he's at the top of his game. You can see him on the Science Channel sometimes during specials. So, you can get anywhere that you want.
Right. Well, here's the thing. She also says the Federal Reserve must comprehensively analyze the impact of Black workers' job losses and develop a strategic plan to confront this crisis. For Black families throughout our nation, gainful employment is necessary key to unlock opportunity and prosperity. Well, I'm like, where was y'all at?
Yeah, where the hell were your asses when this was your bailiwick and you had complete charge of the game? You were
right.
Referees, the players on both sides, the officials, the financiers, the team owners, and you let the ball drop because you didn't do shit except start pushing that crazy rainbow theology at all costs.
You were giving billions of dollars to illegals.
Yeah. So shut up. You're full of it. And Chicken George over there is one to talk. Boy, KFC ought to set up a chicken protection fund from him. They are at peril. He talks about how he loves his fried chicken. What they call him on the front page of the New York Post, Reverend Rat for thinking on the mob. Yeah.